Brian Tramel, RHINO JB, Rollin Into Mempho.
Hey, we're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, a cold and wet Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is a STSPod.club production. I'm live, I'm BT, and my partner in crime this week is RHINO. Oh, no. Hey, I'm sorry, where's RHINO? See, I knew this was going to happen. So RHINO goes down to Memphis, does some ring announcing, and Terrence said he's not going to take that. He's taking RHINO's job. Welcome, Terrence Ward. How's it going, Terrence?
Hey, look, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me a part of the show. You and RHINO crush it every week. And I just got to say, I told Dustin, don't let RHINO take my job. That's the only thing I have to look forward to. So
don't say that on Instagram, because I follow you on Instagram and you have a lot, man. There's a lot going on in your life. You do a very good, you have a good shoot job, as we like to say in the business, and I like seeing somebody that enjoys doing their job. I have a fantastic shoot job too, and you see so much negativity about jobs, but man, yeah. I think we're two of the luckiest people in the world when it comes to our jobs, and so. Real quick, before we get started, we had top stories of 2021 this past Wednesday. Fun episode. Everybody really liked it. Go out and listen to it. We also have a loaded week. As of Tuesday, we have Martin. Martin, as you've never seen him before. Terrence, you worked with Martin before a little bit. This is an interview he's never done before, so he's kind of totally out of character most of the show. Let me just say that. And Thursday at noon, that's Tuesday at noon, and Thursday at noon we go live with Observing the Observer. We talk about Wrestle Kingdom, me and my partner Lance. As we look at what Dave Meltzer thought about it, we compare our scores. So that's an exciting week for us on STSPod.club. Here's what we do, because I know you listen and join sometimes, but if the people listening have never heard this, shame on you. We do hits, misses. We do the MVP. We also do what do you look forward to the most for next week. And starting this year, we did must see. So what was must see on the show instead of thumbs up or thumbs down? I'm going to start with you, Terence T-Bone. Which was your hits?
Oh, wow. So just for kicks and giggles, this is a lengthy list here. Not all bad. It's just you get to see a lot of things when you've been on this side of the business. So some great hits here. First off, Mikey is so over right now. The fans absolutely love Uncle Mikey, and I love the fact that he's playing into that, and we're kind of seeing this, I wouldn't say rift, but a little bit of like, what are you doing between the Skimmerhorns and Uncle Mikey? It's
yeah.
Dude, you're our uncle. You're not supposed to like the fans. We hate the fans. And I love Mike Anthony's promo. Him and Brett Michaels kicking off the show, that intensity and that passion. I've known Mike for a long time. I've seen him in different promotions and different entities of wrestling companies here in the Mid-South. And just seeing that transformation of where he was 10, 15 years ago compared to now is huge, and I think he's a big asset for Championship Wrestling from Memphis. Great tag team match between the Hot Steppers and the Skimmerhorns. Beautiful mirrors there between Danny B. Good and DJ Brown. It was almost like watching the younger version of Danny B. Good.
Yeah.
Huge compliment. And of course, Dustin mentioning on the show that DJ had been on AEW Dark, which is a huge accomplishment, not just for him, but for everybody that's going to be on a show with him, because that gives them a little bit more experience there. By the way, RHINO, great job on the ring announcing. Absolutely thrilled that he was able to take my place during those TV tapings. I had to marry some people. Can you believe that?
I know guys, he's saying, congratulations to RHINO, but right now he just messaged, thanks for giving me $5 to say that. No, I'm just
kidding. Looking at Action Jackson, still got some great maneuverability. I know his size is increased a little. Not no offense, John, but Action Jackson's still got that same maneuverability that we're used to, and did a great job with Carlos Rios. Heather Monroe is a master on the microphone. I love Heather Monroe's ability to tell a story on camera, on the microphone, wherever she's at. And I think she is an amazing champion and talent to have. Whether you like her or not, you got to give her a little bit of that credibility there. And I think that's all I've got for hits.
That's his hits. Awesome, man. I was just piggyback on a few things you said. Skims against the Hot Steppers, really good match. Exactly, a lot of shine for the baby faces, and then we got a cutoff spot, and it wasn't actually cheating. I love that when the heels don't cheat, believe it or not. Also, it featured my favorite referee, Elijah, in there. It has nothing to do with him doing the theme song to STS Pod. Nothing to do with that. Not sure what happened on that finish on that. As always, me and you've watched Mike Anthony and Action Jackson, both those guys, since they started. And I love Mike. I love Action Jackson on the mic. Mike Anthony also, but every time he's in the building, I want him to do his little gimmick there. So, the woman's update, I was looking forward to that. That's perfect what they did. And like you said, Heather Monroe, but I like Skylar too. She didn't say much, but Skylar's going to be a really, really good babyface. I love what the posse did, and you knew it was coming. They were going to beat up Rashard Lee. Terrence. Now, I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm wearing the Beatdown Posse shirt. Now, RHINO JB, and my name also is on the back of this shirt, but I noticed when I was putting it on, it also has Terrence Ward on the back of the shirt.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
So, I'm serious. You better wait. Michael's against Anthony. Hell of a match. Just a crazy match. Love the double down after they both did their finishes at the first part of the match, and then they went into doing finishes and kicking out. Loved it. David Owens, who's a Patreon member, was there live. Him and his wife, we got to see him on cam. But yeah, the Michaels and Anthony, this is the third time. Also, third time that Michaels won, but you still want to see them in the ring together. So thanks for keeping us interested. I wonder what they're going to do with Brett now. So who's the next challenger? I guess we'll see. All right, man. What was your misses for the week?
I want to really piggyback off of what you just said about the Michaels and Mike Anthony match. We've yet to see a steel cage match in Memphis Wrestling, and I would love put those two men inside that steel cage and let all hell break loose. I think that would be. I know we're kind of possibly at the end of that.
I thought what was real interesting, you're talking about putting them together again, and I'm talking about putting them together again, is that we did see 3 matches with Mike Anthony losing all 3 matches, but even after he lost all 3 matches, we're saying, hey, we want to see them again because they have that intensity, and it makes you want to. And I've said this to RHINO a bunch of times. If there's anyone on the roster that we believe can take the belt from Brett at any time, they've built Mike Anthony as that guy that we believe could be champion at any time, any night he could win. And me not knowing the spoilers, and you weren't down there, I didn't know if you know the spoilers or not on this one. I didn't know who was going to win. So there we go. All right, man, give me some misses. Any misses for the week?
Yeah, just a few. Some of them are like technical issues, but I know that since I've been at the last tapings just this past week, kind of already talked to some of the crew about it. So I don't want them to necessarily take this as a bad thing, but I saw some of the zoom ins of in the ring kind of whitewashed. The iris was turned up a little too much. You had too much light coming in and got a little bit of that burnt shine on some of the competitors, but it's an easy fix. And I know that at the last tapings, it's already been corrected. So really good there. Let's see here. Music was a little loud on the Action Jackson.
I noticed that. Yeah, it was really loud. Yeah, at the end also. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our music guy Liddell, who is amazing, by the way. I think he was trying to get the crowd in the house hyped up with forgetting that it's also piped into the truck. So you were not hearing anything the crowd was saying, but the latter part of that after the win was great. You got to hear the audience really buy into Action Jackson. Really a little bit of a botch in that match too between Action and Carlos. It looked like they were trying to do a tie-up, didn't know if they were going to go into an Irish whip into the rope or what was going on there, but they quickly ended the match after that. So it was a good end to the match in the sense of they didn't just stop and freeze like they didn't know what to do. So it shows, the great experience between both Carlos and John to keep going. Don't stop, don't freeze, don't panic, just finish what you're going to do and get through that match. One thing you've mentioned before with managers on television anywhere is managers should really wear jackets. I really like seeing managers dressed up in the part, and Cross is great. He is great in getting the crowd fired up, being a part of that match. I would just love to see him maybe put on a
what the
sports
hell
coat
was
or
he
a jacket.
wearing? Go ahead and say
A
it,
graphic
Terrence.
tee.
What
A graphic
the
tee.
hell was
Yeah.
he wearing? I am that guy that thinks the manager should be like a cartoon character. Let me tell you what I think. You do too. Is that he should look pretty much the same as he did every episode. So remember Jimmy Hart? Remember Jim Cornette? Remember Hollywood Jimmy Blaylock? Except for that beard. Jimmy scares me with that beard. But
like
they
beard.
look the same, man. They look the same. I am all about dressing, like you said, a suit jacket. But the same thing. I want you to look. If you want to wear a bright yellow one, wear a bright pink one next or something like that. But I gave hell to the first guy that was doing the managing. I can't remember his name. The very first episodes of Memphis Championship Wrestling, because he was coming out in a t-shirt with his cap pulled out behind him. I was like, man, you gotta look like a manager. But agree with you, piggyback that. The finish of the tag team match, go back and watch that. Something weird happened. That was my miss. Something was going on, and then DJ had to help him do the pin. I don't know if he got knocked out or what happened, but we seen a kick from DJ, and all of a sudden we seen Danny B coming off the ropes, and then he had to hold his feet. Go back and watch that. That was a little bit. Also, there was a break during the Action Jackson that we just all of a sudden got the Sonic commercial. I'm nitpicking here, guys. This was a real good show. We all of a sudden got a Sonic commercial. We want Dustin to do the old Jericho thing where he says, man, that reminds me of a Sonic hamburger. And then all of a sudden we get Sonic hamburger. But other than that, not really. Like you said, the music was a little loud. I've quit talking about the managers with the jackets. No one seems to listen to me on that. I want to take a moment and talk about Patreon before we go any further. We spin the wheel in February for January. You join it for 5 months, and here's the package deal. And T-Bone was down there, so he's going to know everything here that I'm giving away. It's called the Memphis Wrestling Awards Banquet Package, DVD of the event. 2 Memphis Wrestling t-shirts, 5 12x18 posters, including a signed Scholar poster, 4 different VIP lanyards, a video of Terrence. He'll be announcing you as you're going to the ring. You do that on TikTok, and I see it on Instagram all the time. Awesome. I love it. We also have things from our sponsors, which we do a non-alcoholic beer, so you'll get 2 non-alcoholic beers. Easy for me to say. All of that, and all you got to do is join by $5. So, hey, that's a good deal. Let's get MVP. Who's your MVP of the week, man?
Look, it's tied. It is tied between the women's division itself, because things are really heating up, really enjoying where this is going. The feuds between Skylar, Amber Rodriguez, Heather Monroe calling them out, saying, I don't care who it is. You do what you need to do. I'll be here waiting whenever you get ready. So I'm really loving the heat that's building in the women's division. And then Mike Anthony and Bret Michaels, we mentioned it a second ago, every single time they went head to head, they have produced a high quality match that has shown passion, that has shown intensity, and is telling a really, really good story. The facial expressions and the camera shots, shout out to the production crew, getting the emotion on Bret's face and Michael's face was freaking amazing. I loved seeing that, especially right before the gun show lariat with Mike's face, that acceptance of here comes the end. This is it. I'm done.
I agree. I'd give it to Mike Anthony and Bret Michaels. They're my MVPs. The third match we watched between these two guys, or the third fight, this felt, and Dustin mentioned it a little bit, this felt like a real fight. He said it had a fight feel instead of a wrestling match. The finish was really good. And him just looking at him, for a minute, I thought babyface Bret Michaels was going to drop the brass knuckles.
I did too.
I did. I really did. And then Mike tells him, come on, hit me. And I'm like, oh, man, this is the end. I'll talk about that match and something else I really liked in it here in just a moment. But first, hey, we got question of the week. Let's sit back and listen to Dustin for question of the week.
Hello, everybody. Dustin Starr here with another question of the week, and I have so much fun with these, especially when you guys are asking for relationship advice. Crickets, crickets, crickets. But anyways, today's question of the week is getting a little bit of relationship advice from 5-Star himself. Here's the question. This is from Snoring Wife 501. So apparently there's a snoring wife in the Little Rock area. Since you gave them relationship advice, I thought of something. My wife snores. Should I sleep in the other room or plug my ears and sleep with her? Wow, see, that's kind of a catch-22. That's a double-edged sword. When my Maria is extremely upset at me and I say, whoa, I need to go sleep on the couch, then she gets mad at me for sleeping on the couch. So I imagine if you did that, it's probably not going to end very well for you. If you plug your ears, make sure she doesn't see you do it. Also, don't let any of them hear me give you this relationship advice. Brian Tramel, RHINO JB, come on, guys, help a brother out. Back to you.
All right, not RHINO JB, but I got T-Bone with me. T-Bone, what do you do? I mean, you got everyone's giving these questions, and now they're wanting a relationship advice from Dustin. But what do you do? What's your advice? You're a married man, and so am I. So snoring wife. So what do you do for a snoring wife?
Look,
you better make sure she's right there.
She's watching. I'm worried in the sense that when he first said 501, I was thinking, oh, God, that's in Arkansas. Who was this? My wife that sent this? No. My advice would be happy wife, happy life.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I hate to tell on anybody because I don't like telling on the wife. But I put earplugs in my ears. So there you go, Dustin. And she knows it. I have to, man. I just have to. And it don't hurt her feelings. It don't hurt her feelings. So guys, remember question of the week. Dustin's going to answer anything. Call 501-232-1701 and we'll play it right here on the show. Or you can email us a question, which that came in our email there, stspodclub@gmail.com. And I made sure I didn't give their email domain there. They didn't want to get in trouble. So that was question of the week. All right, man. So we're down to what do you want to see? What are you looking forward to next week? What's the must see for next week?
So I think we go back to the women's division. We mentioned Skylar Amber Rodriguez, the winner of that match. I want to see Skylar obviously win that match. She's starting to pivot in a direction that I think she's going to represent the women's division very nicely. Amber is also talented, but I want to see Skylar take home that Memphis Wrestling gold against Heather Monroe. It's going to be a tough match. Maybe we see a triple threat. We don't know. I don't know what the lineup is for next week. I want to see more of Carlos Rios next week in the Grind City Rumble. I want to see him start establishing himself as a main player in the roster, somebody to be contended with. I also want to see Rashad Lee. What a great job by Rashad Lee today in the show, and I want to see more of him. And having his maneuverability and his size could be an advantage, especially going after the Memphis Heritage title. And then lastly, will the posse be at the Rumble? I'm going to be watching closely next week because I want to know.
Remember the T-shirt. Your name's on the back, man. You're part of. They're going to do a beatdown on you somewhere, somehow. So watch your back. Watch your back. I'm looking forward to the part 3 or week 3 of the Rumble. Is actually the Rumble. So I'm excited about it. I've seen a picture. No spoilers, guys, but you probably expected this. Jordan Grace and Thunder Rosa in the ring, in the middle of the ring together. Kind of one of those things, and I mentioned this to RHINO, and he's not as old as I am, but back in the day, Memphis would bring in champions from other areas, and you know this. You've seen some of the older, and Paul Bosch used to do it a lot in Houston, where he would bring Nick Botwinkle, the WWE, it'd be like the WWE champion. People would come in, and that's what I'm really, really enjoying about Dustin booking AEW people, Impact people. You get to see them for 3 weeks or just 1 week like you will. These these ladies, but you'll be able to see them against different people. I think it gives them credibility and gives Championship from Wrestling credibility also. Okay, man, what is your must-see for the week? What's your must-see for? What are you going to tell them to go out and see? Watch this match.
So I definitely want you to must-see is going to be next week. The next week is the Grind City Rumble. Watch that. January 30th. We're plugging in. It's down there. I see it on the banner just below our images there. January 30th, NYLA ROSE, Tiger Joe, RHINO, all going to be there at the Wrestle Center. Excited for that. People have got to get their tickets because if you've seen some of the shots that we've seen of the crowd, they're standing room only in some cases. And even then, it's packed. It's absolutely packed. But if you didn't catch all of the show this week, that main event is the prize of the show for sure.
I agree. That's the must-see from this show. I'm with you. I remember something. It was actually the promo you did for this. This is going to sell out, guys. It's right down here at the bottom. There's 3 big names here. They've got a hell of a story going with Tiger Joe. What they do with NYLA ROSE, I'll have no idea. And RHINO, hell of a trio. VIP, get your tickets. I know that's we'll talk about it again, but I'm with you. You got to do that. Must see Michaels and Mike Anthony. I will put it on the Facebook, just that match on the Facebook page. But here's what I kept talking about it earlier. Is you do. I don't like breaking out of finishes, but both of them broke out of each other's finish. So I'll go with that. Dustin made it a big deal. No one had ever broke out of the finish. That's what he had to do. You can't have that happen and not say anything. Also, the callback to the handcuffs. Oh, I marked out big time as soon as the handcuffs came in and Brett got them. And so he got the handcuff Mike Anthony getting his revenge. If that's the last match, guys, it was a good series, a good feud. If it's not, I'm with Terrence. Come on, let's put up a cage. Let's call somebody and put up a cage, all right? All right, man, Terrence, I want to thank you for joining us. In RHINO JB, hopefully we'll be returning next week. Same bad time, same bad channel on the best little wrestling podcast in the business. Be there. And Terrence, you know this. I love my mama.
Me too.